companies like Google and OpenAI, which are seeking exemptions from copyright laws that would allow them to use copyrighted material without proper licensing. The celebrities argue that such exemptions could jeopardize the livelihoods of artists and undermine the creative sector. The letter signed by these stars underscores the necessity of maintaining strong copyright protections to safeguard the interests of creators. This shift in approach highlights the complex dynamics between the entertainment industry and political figures.
Let me pause that for a second. So, again, when you look at AI and all the things that are coming up in the next 5 to 10 years, there's so much material. I mean, even right now, with YouTube, I think there's a lot of, let's say, fair use arguments about material. I mean, we're all all of us, we're all using clips of material from other people, from news stations, from other creators, from movie clips. We're all using a lot of material, right? So, but the question is, honestly, I think the biggest issue is how the hell are you going to track all this? And I think this is where it comes into play, because when you talk about publishing, like if you're talking about music, for instance, right? You're talking about not even just music, film as well. You're talking about licensing, permission to use all this stuff. And if people are just able to access things, and I'm not even talking about AI at this very moment, I'm just talking about people able to use material. You're grabbing clips, audio from everywhere, and it's like, yo, how do you go after that creator to be monetized? You know what I'm saying? To get money for it if you're the original creator. Now, when you talk about AI, we're talking about a whole other thing. I remember when I don't know if this was the first AI song, but when Drake when Drake put out the song and had Tupac on a verse, and it sounded just like Pac. And this AI thing, you can have artists that sound just like the artist. Video now, you can have image. I mean, I've seen so many videos of older version of Tupac walking around the U.S. streets, and it looked real. You know what I'm saying? And it's at a point now that creativity, it's really hard to safeguard against it. So you can see copyright in and of itself is just there to protect the creator, right? But it doesn't mean someone can't infringe upon your copyright. Anyone at any time can go and use your material. The question is, you have to be able to stop them from using the material, or you have to be able to have some recourse if they use your material. You know what I mean? So anybody can take your song and go sample it or do whatever it is, or take a video, take a part of a movie you were in and go use it. But the question is, who is gonna enforce those laws? So copyright law is there for you to go ahead and take someone to court if you need to take someone to court, saying, hey, I own the rights of this creation. I created it, or I own the rights of it, and I can enforce the law if I need to go to court to sue someone. But the question is, how do you regulate this stuff? I think that's going to be the biggest issue when it comes to this AI stuff, and it's going to be a lot because technology is going. I mean, they're right now, even at a point where they're saying that they're looking at making movies. They're, looking at making movies with just AI. Man, they're not going to need people at all. So we got to figure out how to harness this thing. I'm not against it, but we definitely have to figure out how to make sure we compensate people who do create, and make sure we're not totally getting rid of people. Let me play this though.
Illustrating how urgent issues can lead to unexpected collaborations. As the conversation around AI and copyright evolves, the outcome of this appeal remains uncertain. However, it emphasizes the ongoing challenges faced by the creative community in adapting to the rapid advancements in technology and the implications for intellectual property rights. The potential alliance between these Hollywood stars and Trump could have significant ramifications for the future of copyright law and its impact on the entertainment industry.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think this is a very interesting thing to see. So we're going to see what happens going forward. But, all the creators are going to have to, I don't know. I mean, as far as the law, I don't know what's going to be changed, because, again, they're going to have to kind of define what is fair use, right? And then they're going to also have to, if you're talking about movie studios, you're talking about licensing to use a particular piece. If you're going to use a piece of a piece of film, how much is that going to cost if it's used? And then as far as music, that's been an ongoing fight, because streaming, they've been just making this up as they go along. You make a song, and if you're let's say you're signed to a label, you do a million streams, you might get a few, I don't know, $1 off, $10 every million streams or whatever. So, the algorithm and the calculations, rather, what they come up with of what creators get paid, I think this is going to be an ongoing thing. But AI is a whole new animal right now. It's a whole new animal when it comes to creation. It's going to create jobs, right? Because there are people who are going to be programming this. So it's going to be, if you're looking at the creative realm, as far as film and music, there will be jobs of people who are creating it. But if you're creating music or you're creating film, it's it's going to be of a great benefit on one side because you can do a lot with AI. So for instance, they were even talking about with when so one of the things the writers were scared about in Hollywood, they were scared that the writers would only be called for like second drafts, right? So let's say you're a creator, you're a producer, film writer, director as well, and you're all coming together to work on a script, right? Um, they're arguing that people will use AI for the script, right? And then they'll have writers come to kind of revise it. So I think that that's inevitable. I mean, there are people right now that, it's been like this for years where, you have college students that need to write a paper. They can go use, these AI products and come up with the first draft, and then you go and, you go and fix it. So I don't think we can stop it, but how they are going to harness it is another story. So we'll see. But